guys are so funny. You're trying to get me to do this stupid shit. And
she just whispered, "I'm a bad bitch," for anyone who didn't hear. Stop. 420.
I'm lit at Disney.
And the kids asleep in the bath.
There we go. A ball sack station.
That's what a business owner looks like. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Tattoo Homewreckers. This is a podcast where we talk about tattoos, life, and everything. Tattoos. Life, and everything in between.
What if I just got up
My
and walked
name is
away?
Callista, and sitting right next to me is my best friend, Lou.
That's me.
That is you. I don't know what the voice I did just now.
I like it.
I got possessed. Oh my god.
What if you talk like that all the time?
Would you still be my friend
100%.
if I talked like this all the time? In that cadence and in that pacing.
Absolutely.
Thank you. That's
that would
really
be really
nice.
fun.
Really?
Yeah. It'd
Thank
be
you,
better
that's
than
really
your
nice.
normal voice.
Wow. Okay. What does your gender feel like today, Lou?
My gender feels like a crumpled up piece of paper.
Crumpled up.
That's
piece of
like
paper.
slightly burned.
What color?
I am a white lined piece of paper.
Do you have a scent? Since you're burnt?
No, I weirdly just smell like paper.
That is weird.
I don't even smell like burnt.
Yeah.
I'm just like singed though.
Singed and crumpled.
I'm
White
realizing
lined.
as I'm describing this, I might be on the verge of burnout.
Oh my gosh. Turns out our what we say about our gender is very revealing. It's not just our gender. It's also like...
Yeah, it's what I'm actually, my existence.
Yes.
Yeah, because I don't think of gender in like a male-female sense.
Neither do I. I think that's the whole
Like,
point, right?
Yeah.
It's like a...
So it's not about like, yeah, it's just like, what am I today?
Yeah. What am I today?
And I'm a burnt, crumpled up piece of paper.
I feel like I am...
Tired.
She's a little sleepy. Sorry, guys. I feel like I'm...
Wait, why are you apologizing for being sleepy?
That's very American, isn't it?
Yeah. You're allowed to be sleepy.
Period.
Period.
I think that I'm a puppy trying to do the right thing. So you can sense...
You're a really cute puppy.
Like there's a plate of food in front of me, and I keep looking at it, and I'm trying really hard not to look at it. That's my gender today.
That's a great gender.
Yeah. So.
I think I'm really far behind you.
Oh.
You're having to like look back at me a bunch.
I'm leaning forward mostly
Okay.
because I've got this notepad in front of me, so I'll be doodling as we talk because I'm in that place. My brain, it just needs something to do and fiddle around with. So
Nice.
Yes. What are we talking about today, Lou?
So I want to talk about the fact that we are less than 60 days at the end of the year, and I get really
Crazy.
like it's almost the end of 2025, and I get very attached to years and like the passage of time.
Yes.
And like what I've done in a year, not necessarily like what I've achieved, but like if I were to like sum up a year, am I better off at the end of the year emotionally, financially, whatever the fuck it is, like for my kind of goals for that year? Am I moving in a direction I want? So I get very caught up with that, and that can oftentimes be put with my like somewhat seasonal depression.
Yes. Yes.
And so I can be very down in the dumps, and I tend to get really sad during December and January. And so I wanted to kind of talk about planning ahead.
Yes.
And because I kind of thought that I would be able to like skirt by it because, you know, it's summertime here, or it's like getting into summer. So I was like, oh, dude, you won't even like be sad because it'll be summer. And I don't know why I'm convinced that like you can't be, I don't know, sad girl summer.
Totally. I think that like physiologically there are more things that'll help us in the summer, but we can't just expect our brains to like flip immediately.
Yeah.
We've noticed that with the dogs.
Yes,
They have
the
their
poor
winter coats
things.
right now.
Yeah, they just grew their winter coats.
So
And
it's the same thing with us. You can't really
Yeah.
expect your brain to also like not be prepared. But also I don't know if the end of the year blues, I don't know if this is a good statement or if it's helpful or anything. I don't know if that changes just because of the season.
yeah, I'm figuring out it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to like, well, I'm not trying. I have grace with myself around it.
Love
Trying
it.
to give myself grace isn't really a thing anymore. Partly because I've like worked on that mentally, and partly because like being perimenopausal, you don't give as many fucks about stuff. Like that is the chef's kisses on top of the hot flashes.
Totally.
And so I'm not like upset at anything I feel.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not judging myself on that, but it's just an interesting observation of, okay, so it's the end of the year and you're still feeling the same ways that you kind of thought happened with like Christmas and the holidays, and like a lot of Christmas music is kind of sad, and especially New Year's music.
Yeah,
and it's very like sad.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, oh, if you're in like a sunshiny place where it's always sunshiny, like during this time of year, will you go through that same thing?
Totally.
Like, will you have that? And I'm still like pretty solidly barreling towards that, like, oh fuck, another year of my life is done.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it definitely doesn't help me that like my birthday is in January, so it is that whole like the end of the year, my birthday are put like close for like that, like another year is over. Like it is no longer that year on the calendar, and it is no longer that year of your life.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's that like closing of the chapter.
Yeah.
Do you ever find that it's, is it bittersweet for you, or is it all mostly bitter?
No, it's always bittersweet.
Yeah.
It's never been like fully bitter.
Yeah, totally.
Because I quite like getting older,
Mm-hmm.
but it is that tipping of the scale towards like, I mean, quite frankly, you don't ever know when you're gonna die, but like it is that tipping towards the scale of like, oh, this is another like year,
Mm-hmm.
like closer to death.
Totally. Totally.
Yeah.
Man, what a fucking concept, right? So
Mhm.
as far as preparing for the next year, would you say that like asking yourself these questions kind of gives you more structure around navigating the end of the year blues?
Yeah, I think when you go into things with like a plan, and obviously plans can change, like for
Yes.
me, that always helps give me more security
Mm-hmm.
and guidance to be like, hey, like, what can we do to make sure that when I am in a place where I'm like, okay, it's the end of the year, like, okay, well, you've maximized
Mm-hmm.
the amount of like joy
Yeah.
you can get out of this.
Yeah.
And so when I look back on the year, it's not like, okay, so for 2025, my big accomplishment is moving to New Zealand, which again is huge.
Mm-hmm.
But when you say it, it's just one sentence.
Yeah, right. It really doesn't do it justice. I also feel like, I don't know if you feel the same way, I'm still partially almost in shock that even happened. You know what I mean? Like it hasn't like, I'm sure this will happen. It'll hit me all at once one of these days.
Yeah.
But yeah, whenever I think about it, I'm like, oh shit, yeah, we did do that this year.
Yeah. Like it's
Yeah.
just weirdly enough, the move is like a footnote on the page.
Yeah, totally.
Like it's just like the text is like they moved to New Zealand and there's a footnote of that was hard,
Mm-hmm.
and then it continues to go on.
Man, if we ever do like a movie summary of our life together, that would be really funny if we just like that whole sequence was just text on the screen. They moved and it was really hard.
Yeah, that's it.
Just fast forward.
like,
to, like,
yeah.
whatever the fuck we're doing now.
And that's
Yeah.
what it feels like, is like when I look at the whole thing, because again, like the calendar year and my birthday are very like connected,
Yeah.
is that we decided to move and I was 38
Mm-hmm.
and we still moved while I was 38.
Mm-hmm.
And so like we decided to move and very quickly we moved.
Yeah.
Or I guess we decided to move when I was 37 and then I turned 38 and we moved.
Mm-hmm.
So like all of it's very connected to like, oh yeah, we did this.
Mhm.
But when I look back at the year, I'm not looking at accomplishments to be like, oh, these are the things I accomplished, like life-wise, business-wise. I'm looking back at like, what new novel experiences have I had?
Mhm.
What new places have I been? What memories have I made? Like that tends to be like where I get really hung up on whether a year was like quote unquote good or not.
Mm-hmm.
And so like Caboose and I just doing like the impromptu date to go see the model trains and to go see
So
the gardens
cool. Yeah.
was really good. We're going to go to the zoo tomorrow. And so like going and seeking out new novel experiences really helps me with the end of the year to be like, I accomplished a lot this year.
Yep.
Because I don't see it as like accomplishment is just you sold your house, you moved your dogs, you started a new business. Like all of that is, if you guys are watching on YouTube, I just waved because Caboose is going grocery shopping. I highly recommend that if you get a husband, get one that goes to grocery shopping. It's chef's kisses. But yeah, like that stuff isn't the stuff that like I actually care about.
Totally. Yep.
It's we went to the beach like when we first moved here, and like we go out and explore and do things. That's the shit I care about. That's why like those moments of like awe and joy and novelty are what actually I look back in the year and I say, wow, I had a really good year.
Totally.
So taking this, like, we only have 57 days left in this year and being like, how do we maximize the most amount of joy in that allows me to start the next year in a much healthier place of like, you are maximizing your life.
Yep.
Because like my life is not work. My life is not, you know, doing a house, like it is not those things. I do not want to look back at my life when I am 80 and be like, I owned a business. Like, I understand the privilege and the work that owning a business has, but like, that's not it. Like,
that's just the tip of the iceberg,
Yeah.
right? It's I don't know. I really do think that we were put on this planet to experience ourselves.
Yeah.
And experience other people. And like, it's gonna sound corny, but like what they say that like humanity is just the universe experiencing itself, which means that like it's the experience of not just joy, but it's also pain. It's like figuring it out. It's like the reel that you sent me earlier where it's like you need to be able to go get your heart broken and then go break some hearts, go get fired, go apply to 1 million jobs, get denied from 1 million jobs, go and, you know, do the thing that like, that's the whole point, right?
Yeah. You have to like experience. And I think that like, that's that part for me that can get lost in like the day to the day of like just working.
Yeah.
Is that then you're like, okay, so we worked a whole bunch. But when I look back, like when I recall our like life and our friendship, I talk about us having fun in Chicago. We talk about Bellingham.
Yeah.
Like we talk about Disney. We talk about like Florida. We talk about Manchester. We talk about all of these trips that we took. And it's because those were like out of the ordinary of our everyday. And that to me is the fun. Or we talk about like the hikes we went on. And don't get me wrong, like I also love like we've been playing video games lately. And those are new and novel to our little group and like new experiences. And that's like the joy where it's like, but that's what I want my life to be, is full of like play, because it's really easy for me to fill my life full of work.
Totally. Yeah.
And so like whichever one's the like harder thing for you, like it's easy for me to be like, okay, like now I'm back in the place of going to the gym. It's easy for me to go to the gym. It's easy for me to fucking eat well, because those are habits that I built. But the one habit that I find that I'm lacking towards the end of this year, which I guess I'll circle back to in a second about that, is that like, where are you finding beyond your everyday life?
Yeah.
Where are you finding novel experiences? Because like I find joy in my everyday. Like I find joy in all of us laughing together, and I find joy like in the sunset and in the small moments and watching our dogs like sleep and breathe and explore and do dumb stuff with their faces. I find joy in all of that. And quite frankly, like if I died today, I would be like, check, great life, good job, you did amazing.
Yeah.
But I really do want to be like, how do we not get in the habit of just working here like we did in the States? How do we really get in the habit of like maximizing things that we want to do on top of working? Because we want to work, but how do we like go do different shit?
Yeah, it's so easy to like remove yourself from the environment and then end up creating it all over again. And I've struggled with that too. Like being here in New Zealand, it's a constant battle for me to remember that the reason why we moved here is so that way we could fucking stop it. Like,
yeah,
that way we could exit that cycle. So yeah, I feel like when you're talking earlier about how like bittersweet it is, and like how giving us ourselves like a plan or goals for the next year in preparation, because like you said, we have less than 60 days. I realize it's kind of similar to like if you guys have ever experienced a long distance relationship, if you plan a trip before you end your current trip, so that way you still have a time to look forward to, then it's a lot easier to like really, I don't know, maybe conceptualize, but also cope and also get excited. Like it's again, that still, it's keeping things fresh, but also moving with intention. So how do we move the needle in the way that we want to next year? Oh my God.
Yeah. And I think that's, I don't like to wait until the first of the year. I used to be like, okay, so on the first of the year, we're going to make a plan for the whole rest of the year.
Yeah.
And we're going to lay out goals. And I've realized now that I don't want to spend... Sorry, I'm not staring at the camera. I'm looking at a bird eating potatoes off of our neighbor's front porch.
I see him.
I love
God.
New Zealand, you guys. But I want to do that before because I feel like we talked about this yesterday. If you guys can't tell, the ADHD is popping, so we're going to cover like 17 topics.
Yes.
But we talked yesterday about how you and I have been really like flighty, flaky, like not able to like conceptualize, can't put words together very well.
Yeah. I keep trying to put the wrong keys in the wrong door lately.
Yeah.
It's been ridiculous. Like my brain fog is just everywhere.
And it's because I had this realization because we have a stack of work to do. Because restarting a company and like getting like out there and getting all new clientele is a ridiculous amount of work.
Oh my God, tell me about it. And it's funny because like that demon of like you're never doing enough, you're never working hard enough. If you're not like intentionally working on it, again, it's not like a passive thing that you will heal through time. That is such an active thing because I realized with you saying that like we are working harder than we have before.
Absolutely.
Like this is like talk about like constant push, you know, we are just fucking constantly go. And you mentioned it the other day that like we actually haven't had a rest day in like I would say over a week now.
And that's what I was gonna say is that like we've just been working all the time, so we haven't rested at all. And then I was talking to you about the fact that you can very easily, like we could do this the American way, which is that we take one day and we push super fucking hard, and which is quite frankly what we're doing. That's why I have an energy drink here. Because I will just pull an all-nighter to get like a bunch of the admin stuff I need to get done.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow for the first like 8 hours of the day, we'll go off, we'll have fun, we will not talk about work, and we'll just have a good time. Or we could do it the actual healthy way, which is you take a full day or two off of work. 2 days is a bit much. We're still American, you guys, so we would plan on one day. Maybe one day we'll get there that we can have 2 days off of work. But we take one day and recharge, and then we're able to come back, recharge, refueled, and be able to create and work again. And so I had that realization with like the way that I was previously doing New Year's plans, where I would wait until the first of the year. But that meant that I spent a lot of November, most of December, really like kind of lost trying to figure out what I'm going to do in the next year. And like, what have I already fucked up on? What did I miss this year that I really am sad about? Like, I didn't go on enough dates, and like, I didn't prioritize like fun as much as I really wanted to. And I didn't have novel experiences. And I would go through the list of all these things that I just like didn't do that I want to do next year. And then on the first, I would sit down and be like, okay, this is all the stuff you're going to do. And I would do slightly better the next year. And then I kind of realized in that sense of like, why am I waiting to do this after all of the like hard work of being like, oh, I'm sad about not doing these things, rather than being like, here's the deal. I got a month and like mostly almost 2 months left. So I've got about 2 months so I can figure out this plan right now and then maximize the rest of this year. So that way I set myself up in January to be like, okay, what can we tweak in that? But really, we're already there. We're already doing the novel experiences. We are working out consistently. We are hitting our protein consistently, like setting those things up now. So on the first of the year, rather than trying to restart your whole fucking life and be like, I'm unhappy with the way last year went, saying, what do I need to tweak?
How do we, I think tweak is the right word to put it because, again, we've talked about this on the podcast before that a resolution is bullshit. It's more about, like, the small, consistent changes than it is, like, the, like, oversold, overhyped, you're going to fall asleep one day and wake up a new person the next day. That never works, and it's never sustainable.
No.
So with the topic of tweaking, what is something that you would like to work on, and how are you going to tweak it to fit 2026?
I think it's going to be, if I had like an ideal thing, I want as a group, we commit to one time a month of going and doing something new.
Love. Yeah.
Like as a friend group, like as the little pod, us. Once a month we do something new. I want to commit to Caboose and I going on like 2 dates. And then for you and I to once a month do something that is just the two of us that's not work related. Like
wow, I love that.
That is just fun.
So once a month, fun thing for us.
Yeah. Yeah. So
not
that
work
way,
related.
because like, you know, again, we so easily slip into that workplace. And then when I'm looking and I'm like, oh, I'm having the most fun right now watching you guys play video games and like things that aren't work related. But then I'm also doing that thing where I am trying to play catch up on work. So in the middle of it, I'm still working. And so having designated time really helps me be like, hey, at this point, is that bird trying to go in my bedroom?
It kind of looks like it was, but I don't think it will.
Okay.
Yeah, he's good. I thought about that too. And then I was like, how do I tell you in the middle of the podcast that I just saw a bird fly into your room?
I would just leave it there and be like, well, I'll clean up
You know
bird
what?
poo
Yeah,
when we're done.
exactly. It's not my problem right now.
Yeah, screens on windows are not a thing in our home here. And if you can't tell by the amount that we keep talking about birds, there are lots of birds here.
Yeah.
And it's one of my absolute favorite things, but it does mean that like we have to live with them and sometimes they come in the house.
Yeah, they sure do.
Yep. So what does that look like for you?
For me, it was funny because the first thing that popped up in my brain after we were talking about like, oh, when I look back on my life and I'm older, I don't want to just think like, okay, so I just owned a business and I worked a bunch.
Yeah. What do you want to look back on?
For me, I realized that if I were to die today, right now, I would look back on and regret that I wasn't nicer to myself.
Oh.
Yeah, right? Isn't that huge?
Yeah.
So I think that's what I would like to be more intentional on coming into 2026 is like being kinder to myself and giving myself a lot more praise.
Nice. I don't
than
have a pen
I
to
normally
write that
do.
down,
That's okay.
But you
I'll
need
write
to
it
jot
down.
that down.
Yeah, so more praise.
Yes.
And one more thing before I move on. If you guys are doing this with us, like, please, like, I encourage you while you listen to this podcast, also write stuff down. Pause for a second. I mean, here's your opportunity to pause right now. But before you pause, be specific. You want to be specific. So it can't just be there. I could have easily just been like, oh, I just need to be nicer to myself. You really need to make sure that when you set these goals, you're not just like aimlessly saying an ambiguous thing because that's how it falls through.
100%. It's okay, so I want to go and prioritize fun. I want to have more joy.
Yes.
But I need an actionable thing. So when it comes to that, like as someone who's very goal oriented, like it's easy for me to be like, oh, I need to get in shape. Well, what the fuck does that even mean? So like for Caboose and I right now, we are doing a little, I don't know if I mentioned this on the podcast last time. If I did, my bad. But like we're doing a little challenge where we are trying to, because I'm trying to change the idea that I need to weigh less. Because if you're a long-time listener, you know that I struggle with a pretty gnarly eating disorder. And I'm on the like upswing of it right now. But part of that is like, I still need to weigh myself. That's something that like helps me feel in control, and helps me not spiral when I like eat one singular piece of chocolate and I'm convinced that like I've undone
like
everything.
Ruined
everything.
everything.
I've ruined everything for the entire month. Which I know how ridiculous that sounds, and it's very vulnerable, like saying that. But so right now we are focusing on challenging each other to weigh in once a week and check who has the most muscle mass gain. I won the first week. Then the second week I didn't really go to the gym because I was having a really bad like luteal phase. And Caboose won the second week, and each person gets to choose what the other person has to do.
Yep.
Not like weird sex stuff, but it's mostly like I want back rubs and he wants face rubs. But like we, you know, married person shit. And so like having that accountability also helps, but having like an action to be like, hey, so each week we weigh in on either Saturday or Sunday, and whoever increased the most muscle mass that week, and so like is the winner. And that helps me make a healthy like relationship with like, I am currently heavier than I have been in a little over a decade. And that's a really like hard place to be when you are someone that struggles with like body issues. and with specifically weight issues, but being like, that number doesn't matter. What matters is, am I increasing my muscle mass so I can beat this motherfucker and get the most amount of back rubs? And like learning how to like figure out what it is working for you to achieve goals. But like the more granularly specific you can get while still following through, because you get the same amount of dopamine just by writing your shit down as if you did it. So like giving it also to other people to be like, hey, you got to help hold me accountable and I'll help hold you accountable.
Yeah.
So that way you actually achieve it.
Yeah, absolutely. Because again, I think that like when it falls to the ambiguity, like how are you expected to continue that thing if you yourself don't even know how to enforce that? So I said to enforce more self-praise, I said to write one compliment about myself every day. Because right now standing in the mirror and saying that to myself, a little bit too hard. That's okay. It's about tweaking. It's not about, again, waking up a completely different person.
Yep.
I cannot do that whole, like, look at yourself in the mirror and say 5 nice things, but I can hold myself accountable to writing one nice thing about myself a day. Because I do think that, like, it's a little bit unfair of me to ask my partners to compliment me if I can't do that to myself.
100%.
Or, like, my friends to compliment me if I can't do that to myself. So I really do think that, like, that would help me in 2026. And then as far as like the two of us, I think I would really love to be intentional about like at least once a month you and I like work out together.
Yeah.
That would be cool. Even if it is just like a Grow with Joe on YouTube or something. Or like maintenance. Like I still consider maintenance working out.
100%.
That would help me. Especially because I'm not very mobile. So the longer I go without doing mobility, the worse it gets, because that's how mobility works.
I mean, that is how everything in life works, is if you avoid it, you get worse at it.
You get worse at it,
So
exactly.
it is good to like,
strengthen
really
those things again. So yeah, that's what I would say for us.
Absolutely. I love that.
Do you have one that you could apply to yourself? With your relationship to yourself, or are you kind of solid on that?
I would say like what I'm doing with Caboose with the like really reframing.
Yes.
Reframing like muscle gain as being my focus. Because even though I know that I currently have a little bit more body fat than I typically prefer to have. And it is hard seeing that one number on the scale. I do feel good and like in the strength.
Yes.
And I've been back at CrossFit now for like in a gym for 3 months, and I'm starting to feel good with like the weights. It's where I'm starting to, I'm feeling strong again. And so really focusing on like just being really happy about feeling strong and not worrying about like, not worrying about my body fat percentage as much as like, being like, hey, I really care about like having big arms. That's been something that like I'm continuing to do, but I realized that probably about, I think we started this like 2 weeks ago, where I was like, okay, if I can just focus on a number going up that has to do with my body, that doesn't have to do with weights externally. Cause that's the problem with like, if you only focus on like, okay, well, how much can I clean? That's cool for like, that gives me dopamine to be like, oh, I can like lift more, but it's not actually connected to the internal, like actual body.
Yes.
So I kind of see that. This is going to sound like a really weird stretch, you guys, but lifting heavy weights is kind of like posting a selfie and getting a bunch of likes. Like the validation is external to you. But being able to look and be like, hey, my muscle mass itself is this number. That is a purely internal number and no one else knows that fucking number.
Totally.
And like, even if I post it, like it means nothing to anyone. So that would be the, like, that to me is the equivalent of you writing the nice stuff. Like you're not doing that for anyone else. You're only doing it for yourself.
Yeah, totally.
And so the increasing that and watching a number on my body go up and like celebrating a number going up when I've spent my entire life chronically like dieting and worrying about weighing less. It's like the biggest like thing. And it's currently, because again, with eating disorders. There'll be ups and downs. Currently, it's helping because it's also forcing me to eat more food, which is a gnarly concept.
Yeah, totally.
I know all of the data. I coach people on nutrition, but like you're for yourself to be like, you got to eat more food, dog, because you got to put on muscle to beat this motherfucker.
Oh, totally.
Is like a really like, ooh, scary concept.
Yeah, it's super scary, but it's also like what a hack, right? Where it's like, oh God, I have to like hack my brain into remembering that like I have to do this.
Yeah.
After like spending so much time fighting against that.
Yeah.
And being told that it's the wrong thing to do.
Yeah.
Now, obviously what you eat matters, but
yeah,
science.
Well, and just being like, hey, you have to eat more food because you need more protein.
Exactly.
Has really like helped me be like, okay, because I want to be big. That is my goal. Is I want to be jacked. But I've convinced myself over the years that I can be jacked but also really light, and those two things are not synonymous.
Totally.
Because when I see like when women that are like jacked, their weight range is where my weight ranges are higher, and I'm like, that's what I actually want, as opposed to like, I don't want to weigh 130 because like on my frame that means I have a lot less muscle.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
And
you also lift less at that point. So.
And I don't want to do that.
Exactly.
I'm trying to like put up boy numbers.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh,
which really
good.
at my gym just means I'm trying to compete with all the other women because this gym makes some strong women.
Yeah. They make them strong,
like,
man.
Yeah. These are like American boy numbers that I'm trying to lift.
That's awesome. That is fucking
so,
awesome.
Okay. So you're going to write.
Yes. One nice thing about myself.
One nice thing.
Every day.
Yeah. Is there anything else there?
2026, I think that like it's really, I don't think I have to worry about career goals because I have so many of them. Like those are so easy for me to come by. And again, I know that sounds like a weird flex, whatever. It's just something that like I don't feel like I need to intentionally talk on the podcast because I will like give you like 20 to 30 different career goals that I have to try and accomplish within the next year. I think for like soul goals, like what I would, besides like the like praise, I think what I would really like is to kind of find a routine that feels good to me. I would love to see, because like with ADHD, it's hard, but obviously like, I don't know. I now have a partner that has such a structured day and structured like routine of things. Yeah. Like so consistently like has this for breakfast and does this and always does this habit after accomplishing this habit and like just very consistent. And after watching that, I'm like, I would love to kind of have the same strength to do that. I don't know if it's possible, but I would like to try at least. So I'd like to experiment figuring out different ways to improve my daily life. And that sounds so adult.
What does that specifically look like?
For me, it's
like run me through.
I would love to make my bed and eat breakfast every day.
Amazing. What do you want to be eating?
That.
Are you trying to eat different stuff? Because that adds more like decisions.
It does. It really does. What I would love to see is just some sort of protein and some sort of carb.
Okay.
So, yeah. Whether it be eggs or whether it be protein yogurt, I'm fine with. But like I do need to have some kind of carb in there.
So does that look like, because a lot of people that do that tend to eat the same thing.
Yeah, they do.
Does that look like if you do not want to eat the same thing every day, committing to 1 week of eating the same thing?
Oh, that's good.
So you can like.
That's really good.
Even, because is the cooking in the morning an obstacle?
No.
Okay.
I think
so then just having the groceries.
It's having the groceries and then also like, again, I think I've always struggled with this is like, whenever something falls through that's a healthy habit in my life, it's because I'm falling back into that idea that I don't deserve to do this because I've got so much work to do that like I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where like now we're in a society that prioritizes work-life balance. Like I deserve to eat breakfast. I deserve to give myself fuel for the day. So that way my work like is better, but it's also not like the forefront of my entire life. You know? So, yeah, I think that, like, committing to the same breakfast for at least 3 days straight would be a good option for me. Because I know me. I will get bored.
Yeah. That's where
years.
I was
yeah,
just essentially poking holes.
Yeah.
So that way we can see where obstacles might happen. Not because I'm trying to be a dick.
Oh, no, you're not being a dick at all. I think it's good. Because, again, you need to be incredibly specific with this shit. Because, I don't know, if you shoot for the stars but you don't actually aim, you're not going to get anywhere.
I love that that is your current favorite
Oh,
thing.
my God.
Can you please tell them about it? Because
Yes.
I've heard this
so many times.
I say rant with the best possible like meaning behind it, because I like when people rant because that means that they are passionate about something. So can you please expand upon that concept of not aiming?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, like, for example, I'll just say an ambiguous goal. Someone says, I want to own a house one day. That is ambiguous to me. Because it's like, okay, well then what are you doing to get there? It's shooting for the stars, but if you don't actually aim and have a plan to, I don't know, save up a ton of money. Let's talk about, actually, let's back. We're gonna go back.
So my goal.
What kind of fucking house do you want?
Wait. My yes. goal, I'll be the person. My goal, I want to own a house one day.
Okay, fantastic. What house are you looking at? Are we talking about like 2-bedroom, 1 bath? Are we talking 3-bedroom, 2 bath? Are we talking, do you want a garage? Like, do you want a family one day? Do you want pets one day? Like, how big of a space are you looking at?
Yeah, what type of pets do you want? How big of a yard do you need?
How big of a yard do you need?
Do you want a pond?
Do you want to host?
Farm?
Yeah, do you want to host like big parties? Do you want to like have more of a private life? Or do you want to have a farm? There's no wrong answer. Build your life. You could do whatever you want. Then from then, it's like, okay, research how much money it's going to take to get that sort of house. Does that sort of house actually even exist in your city? Like, is that something that's possible in your city? Are you happy with where you're living right now? Or are you planning on moving somewhere else to get that house? Once you find out the numbers about that and location, obviously it gets a lot more complicated, right? Now we're talking about how are we going to save enough money to get to that house? What does your credit look like? What is your plan if your credit is bad currently? What is your plan to get it up? And what is your plan to get your numbers up? So that way you can apply for a mortgage. What are you going to do then? Are you going to rely on your family to help you with that?
Yeah, how much of a down payment are you going to have?
Exactly.
Do you want to build your own home?
Oh my God, yeah. So many questions, so many... Oh, somebody's car is
Serpentine belt.
Serpentine belt.
It's our neighbor.
So that's my thing. That's basically what I mean by like people shoot for the stars, but they don't actually aim. It's the aiming that's going to actually get you to owning that house one day. It's like the forethought in your brain. And constantly when people talk about manifesting, it's not that you're like saying a random goal in the air a million times over. It's the fact that that's always behind in your brain. You're always thinking about it. So like your decisions are still based off of, okay, I do want to own a house one day. So maybe I shouldn't go to the casino and waste $10,000. You know what I mean? That's what actual manifesting is. It's that goal is always being thought of, and you are, making decisions based off of that goal.
Which, I just want to say, that is also why we don't have to talk about, like, business goals on here, because we both talk about those all the time, and we do talk about our personal goals with each other all the time.
Yes.
But we share, there are more birds on those potatoes.
He got friends. He brought his friends over. They're tearing that shit up.
I know. I feel bad.
I mean...
But
birds gotta eat.
Birds gotta eat. You are right. We don't have to like come on and be like, hey, how do we like manifest these? How do we get this to happen? Because every decision we make in our lives is already on the forefront as like two recovering alcoholics or workaholics.
Two recovering alcoholic workaholics.
Yeah, just workaholics. As two recovering workaholics, like work is on the forefront, and like all of our other dreams are interconnected with that. So both of us are very much like, we are very much connected in the sense that like what I want and what she wants, though they're not always the same exact dream, they do run parallel to each other.
Yes. So
we don't have to have the like, okay, what can we do to like make this happen? Because that is always what we're doing every day when we wake up. What we have to do is this, where we come on and we talk about like, how do we have a life outside of work? Because when you are, two children of immigrants that prioritized work, and then on top of that, you are the eldest daughters, and you were taught that like success in work is your like primary safety function.
Yeah.
That's all you know. So then developing a life outside of that and learning how to exist outside of like your job is where the actual work for us is. So if you're like, that's crazy, I don't know what to do for my career, and you guys like do, well, you probably know what to do that brings you joy that we are currently working on. So I just wanted to like state that part in there of like, we have that level of detail when it comes to like our business and where we want to take her and our own like goals. But having these conversations with you guys allows us to also hold ourselves accountable to be like, all right, you're gonna, however long you're on this podcast journey with me, you're gonna hear about like me battling an eating disorder. You're gonna hear about us like overcoming working all the time and overcoming familial trauma. Because,
overcoming like negative self-talk and negative self-narrative, an unhealthy relationship with like, I don't know, constantly punishing yourself. Like, yeah, you're gonna have to hear about all of that. But I hope you wrote some things down. And hopefully your 2026.
They get better. And before you get to 2026, so you take this week right here and you say, hey, I'm going to write this stuff down. I'm going to think about my goals. And you need to actually write it down and not type it, because you get a better like memorization and a better neural pathway connection if you physically write it down. So write it down and be like, this is what I want to like achieve, and then start making it happen before the new year. So when we come back on the new year, which we'll be back before then, but we will do an episode during the new year where we will talk about like, what have we accomplished? How is it going? And if you guys want us to do like weekly updates of how we're going with our current goals before the end of the year, we can do that too. Just drop a comment, send us a message, and we can also be like, how is that currently going? Because that's what we started doing with our, what is our win for the week, is like looking for stuff during the week to be like, this is what I've like done. So we can also do that. And again, if you guys want to leave your comments of like what you're working on, that would be great.
I would love to see it.
But I do have a couple things that I wanted to also talk about.
Yes.
Of like, so of your habits that you want to like kind of work on, of like having a more like structured life. We know what you're going to do with the writing, the daily compliments. If you need help thinking of stuff, I've got lots of nice stuff to say about you.
That's really sweet. Thank you.
You're a turd. And sometimes you smell bad.
And sometimes you're a shiny turd. And sometimes you're a dry turd.
Yeah. And sometimes you're a sparkly turd.
Yeah, exactly.
So outside of that, but you can absolutely talk about that as well. What current habits are holding you back from that? Because like the habits that we're lacking are because of habits we currently have.
Yes. I think the habits that are holding me back from like really appreciating the work that I do and again, complimenting myself. The reason why I say this is because I just went through all my old designs and I was like, oh my God, I was like a really good artist. And then I realized I got really sad in the moment when I posted whatever it is I posted now, like today. I know for a fact that I like just wasn't stoked about it, you know, like I was like proud to post it, but I wasn't like in the moment. I was not present. I was not present with myself. So the habits that are holding me back from being present with myself is the moving to the next task immediately. I don't ever.
Oh, fuck.
Dude, totally. I do not ever like finish a job and like take like even a minute. I don't even take like 30 seconds to just sit there and go, wow, I did that. It's always like, okay, great. Send it off. What's next? Okay.
You just fucking punch.
So I guess I need a break. I need a break in air quotes. I'm going to go do the dishes instead of like actually like, again, spend that time with yourself, sit with whatever project you just accomplished and just like, just be in silence with yourself. Right? I never do that. So
be
that's
proud.
A habit. Yeah, be proud. You're so
Say
right.
Say nice things.
Yes. Oh my God, you're so right. So yeah, I just skedaddle on to the next thing. So that's like my number one habit that's holding me back. I need to write this down. Is just moving on to the next thing. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, that was so good. I feel the way that hit me, I feel like that is so genuinely true for like, I don't like to use the term overachievers. But for people that are goal oriented, is that it is that like just on to the on to the next.
Yeah.
And as someone who keeps perpetual checklists, like I am just as guilty of that I'm like,
right.
Check, done. And I don't
What's
sit
next?
in that like pride of, oh, hey, you accomplished something. Like you did this. Look at the stuff in this that you like. Because I can very quickly pick the things I don't like about something.
Totally.
And I can tell you all of that, but it's harder for me to actually sit there and be like, wow, I love this. But then it's that old adage of you will one day look at yourself with kinder eyes. Mm-hmm. And I think that applies to like when we were looking at earlier artwork.
I know.
Is that you're like, wow, I was a good little artist. Like you currently are a good artist.
I know. And it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Right? I'm still not being present with myself. I got misty-eyed too. I'm still not being present with myself.
I'm not misty-eyed. I literally have an eyelash.
Oh, never mind.
I'm
misty-eyed. Don't you ever say I'm crying on the
podcast. I've cried on here, but right now it's not. But that sucker punched me.
Did it? It sucker punched me too.
It's really interesting because that like just fed into that next question, which was like, what makes you feel most alive?
Oh my God.
And that like when you were like, oh, I just posted something that I wasn't like, it wasn't that.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's because that feeling when you can look and be like, wow, I was truly inspired in this. Mm-hmm. And really like that makes me realize that I want to add one more goal. So I'm going to make you write it down.
Oh,
so
please,
that way we can put it on the wall and hold ourselves accountable.
Let me hear it.
Is that you and I need to spend 1 hour a week. That is not a ton of time.
Yep.
Creating artwork together.
Aww, creating
and
together.
That can look like us drawing separately, or that can look like us drawing together or painting or whatever.
Yes.
But non-negotiable.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what is happening. 1 hour each week we need to create as artists together, because
I love that.
Both of us have had that goal forever to be like, I want to produce more of my artwork for joy. And this is the downside. If you guys are not in the creative field, if you are in the creative field or you are a tattoo artist, you know this, how hard it is to make artwork for yourself.
Yeah.
Just for joy and not to like be like, oh, well, I'm behind on tattoos, so I need to create for like sellable stuff or for appointments. But that's been a goal of ours. And we talked about it before we opened the shop that we would do it.
Yeah.
And now we're our baby is basically 2 years old.
She is.
And so she is, I don't know what milestones 2-year-olds have. She's becoming slightly more independent. She's not really. We're rebuilding.
Yeah.
We just brought her out of a coma. But
exactly. Also, 2-year-olds are not independent, but
she's more independent than she was when she first
exactly. She's more independent than a newborn, which she technically is right now.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're able to do it as parents. We should do that. And oh my gosh, we used to do split sheets and they were so good. They were so good.
Yeah. So we will hold ourselves accountable to doing artwork.
Great.
Once a week.
I love
for
that.
1 hour.
For us, not for
us,
selling.
Yeah, for split sheety, for us, like having good stuff. If you don't know what a split sheet is, that's when 2 artists or more, you could divide it into more, take a piece of paper and we just say, hey, I'm going to do this half, you do that half.
Yeah, it's so fun.
And the real hack there is one person starts on one piece, the other person starts on the other sheet, and then you just switch after X amount of time. And then you just get to create. And so you have like your original idea starting to create something, and then someone builds off of that. And then you also get to like play with others and build off someone's idea.
Yep.
If you are not an artist, you can do it with anything else. You can do it with prompts of writing or whatever. It's a lot of fun. It builds a lot of connection between you and the person you're creating with.
Yep.
You also get to decide whether or not you like them. Okay. So then how are you currently handling stress and how can you improve upon that? So that way going into the next year, we can be in a better place.
That is such a good fucking question. How am I currently handling stress? I think that probably this literally happened yesterday. I was feeling like really like angry, and not for any particular reason. Normally when I have like a lot of pent up energy and I'm just like, ugh, it's because I needed to move. Yeah. So I worked out. Like in the middle of doing dishes, I was like, I can't do this anymore. I gotta like work out. So that's what I did. And I felt so much better. So that has really helped. I think we need more of that, Callista, especially this is from past Callista. Hopefully future Callista listens to this. You get seasonal depression really fucking bad. Girl.
Because you don't move.
Because you don't move. And I understand. It is really fucking frustrating because like you don't have energy because of your seasonal depression. But if you do the same things that you did yesterday, the cycle repeats. So we just need to make sure that we do something different today. Okay. So that's my PSA for future Callista. Do something different today. I don't care how tired you are. I know it sucks. Just do it because it's going to repeat.
You're never too tired to do 10 push-ups.
Exactly. Just do it. So, and push-ups are good for you. So
they are. They'll get you that big Dorito shape.
That's what I want. And you know what? Your pecs are already great, but they could be better.
They're really nice pecs.
How about you? Do you have anything that that is going to help you with stress? Besides masturbating.
Besides masturbating, you know that's my solution to everything. It really resonated where you said like taking a moment after things.
Right.
That really resonated with me because I think part of like the stress is the like hustle and bustle. And I know logically that the to-do list is never done, that there is always something else to do. And I do chase the dopamine of like getting stuff checked off the to-do list. But really just taking a moment to be like, hey, this is what you did. Like I optimized our like SEOs earlier and I worked on our website and, like cleaned up some stuff. And I was like looking at my giant to-do list and on the actual to-do list, it's just one tiny fucking thing. And I was like, man, I did not accomplish a ton today. And the non-tangible things really fuck me up. That's why I was like, oh, I'll just do your laundry. Because then if I do your laundry, then that's something tangible that I can see. That's like visual. Like I also vacuumed because I can see that I did it. And so it helps.
Yes.
But I think really just sitting in the like, hey, dude, like that was dope. Because the same thing happened with taxes. I did our taxes and then I was like, okay, done with that. Yep. And then I found myself already waiting for January. Because I know January taxes will be easier and I can just get January taxes done in like a fucking hour instead of like 3 days. And so really just being like, hey, that's dope. But I find for me personally is like doing stuff. Like I'm realizing as I'm having this conversation, really struggle with that wound around like celebrating accomplishing things or knowing it's not so much accomplishing, it's knowing how to do things. And like you bring it up a lot, not in a bad way, to be clear, where you're like, you guys say that you should just like, Caboose and I will talk about doing a project.
You did and this morning.
We talk about it like it's an obvious thing.
Yeah.
And I think like doing life with someone else who has that means that we don't get to like, really sit in like, I did our own business taxes and our personal taxes. And I'm too hung up on like not allowing myself to celebrate like my own accomplishments and my own intelligence. And like how, I don't want to say how like hard something is, but like I'm really uncomfortable with that to be like, oh, that was like a lot of work and you did it. And therefore you're allowed to be proud of it.
Absolutely.
So then that's like why I'll just be like, oh, well, that's done. Next thing.
Yeah.
So I think like, and that creates its own stress is if you guys are hearing crinkling, that's because Caboose just got back groceries. Again, like I said, get yourself someone that will handle your groceries for you because it's lovely.
Good stuff.
But yeah, I think like really sitting in that and allowing myself to like, I don't know if that looks like being proud of it, then that could be really helpful.
I think so too. I have really bad ADHD right now.
Yes.
I'm not going to lie. But I'm really excited for 2026. I think we've got a lot on the horizon.
Yeah.
Do you have any more questions you'd like to ask
No,
me?
I think that's good for right now.
I think so too.
Because I also am getting very wiggly and it has been like almost an hour.
Yeah. Do you ever like hit that point where you're like, okay, now I got to do stuff? Yeah. So
yeah,
Speaking of not doing
very
stuff.
hot. I got very hot all of a sudden. I was like, I am very warm. We're going through a little hot flash here.
Okay, awesome.
So I was like, ugh.
Well, one thing that you're proud of today?
I am proud. Why do I blank out every time?
It is hard. If you want, I can give you some more time to think.
What are you proud of?
I'm really proud of realizing that the habit holding me back is just fucking going on from one thing to the next.
Dude, that unlocks so much shit for me.
Me too.
I really am looking forward to like people. So this crazy thing happens with us.
Mhm.
If you're the person that comes up and talks to us about listening to a podcast, you can absolutely continue to do that.
Please.
We don't get a whole bunch of comments on like YouTube or on Spotify or anything, but we get a lot of face-to-face discussions around the podcast. And sometimes you'll say something like that, and I'm like, I know that that's going to hit people, and I cannot wait to have the like face-to-face discussions for people where they had that same realization, where they were like, oh shit, that's crazy. That's me too.
Yeah.
Because that hit me hella hard.
Also, no wonder we're burnt out, right?
Yeah. We're just checking shit off the list.
Well,
yeah.
What can you do?
Absolutely.
That's what I'm proud of for today.
That's great.
What are you proud of for today?
I'm going to say that I am proud of working on our website
Yay.
and getting stuff done. They're covering the potatoes.
Thank God they're saving the potatoes now.
But I am proud to have worked on our website because I do not like sitting down and working on like technology stuff. It's not fun. I don't enjoy it. And I'm proud that I did it.
Thank you for doing it. That's awesome.
You are welcome.
That's a good one. What is your win for the week?
My fucking win for the week is that I did 15 Tote Bar Unbroken. One day I did 10, which was like, I think 11 Tote Bar Unbroken was my all-time max.
Yeah.
And then the next day, because my gym is crazy, it wasn't the next day, it was in that same workout. But my gym is crazy and they had Tote Bar multiple days in a row. And then right in that next like part of the workout, so I was already slightly fatigued and I held on for 15. Because one of my coaches said, when you're doing Tote Bar, make sure you breathe, which sounds like the dumbest thing ever. But it's something you don't focus on when you're just holding on for dear life.
Totally.
When you're on like a crazy person.
You're just trying to make sure you get them done, you know?
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh shit, you're right.
Yeah. And so I am really proud of the fact that like my physical strength is coming back and I am doing my best to learn kilos. So right now that looks like every time I text Caboose what my weights are, I put them in kilos and then also in pounds.
That's awesome.
Because I have to do the math every time that I'm doing it because kilos make it sound like you're not lifting any weights.
No, literally. I'm like, oh my God, this is not anything. So then I'm like, whatever. I guess I'm just finding a new PR in kilos.
Yes.
And whenever I squat, I'm always like, this is really heavy. And I'm like, well, you know, maybe you're just finding a new PR. Don't worry about it right now. Just lift it. And I'm like, okay, cool. So
100%. I just have to be like, you're just doing this based off of vibes. How does it feel?
Pure vibes.
And then I'll like start adding to be like, oh shit, that was more than I thought. Because it's usually more than I think it is.
Yeah.
So at least that's pleasant. What was your, what are you proud of? No, you did your proud of today. What was your win for the week?
Win for the week. I
ADHD
will say,
is popping.
It really is. I did 50 push-ups yesterday, and it felt harder than it did the time before, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So the last time I had done push-ups, I was feeling so light. And I'm like, wow, these are really easy when like you feel really light. And then yesterday, they definitely were a lot harder, but I didn't take it too personally, and I still was able to finish my 50 reps because I wasn't like upset about it. I was just like, well, they'll do that sometimes, and then I just kept doing it. So that's like one of the first things that I'm proud of because normally I would be really upset about it.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's awesome. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So on that note, we will see you guys back next week. We are both ADHD poppin' and need to go move around and wiggle and probably go work out together. No, wait, you're going to work out to the gym.
Yeah.
So we'll see you guys back next week. And if you want to hear about our goals, then we'll tell you how well we're doing.
Absolutely.
And if you don't, then that's okay too. And you can be like, y'all, shut up. I don't care.
Yeah, so, don't worry about it.
But you don't got to be mean about it. All right. Bye.
Bye.